Do you remember vividly still the audition process? I know you've talked about before, like, you never ironically auditioned with Leo. You did with McConaughey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, like, because there's so many names that have been talked about. Like, do you remember, like, was Christian Bale, was Ethan Hawke? Do you remember other people that you...
Christian and Ethan, no. Matthew McConaughey, yeah. And there was another actor who I have to say is not that well known now.
Much, yeah.
I'm afraid I can't remember.
That's okay.
his
That's
name.
okay.
Isn't that terrible? But yeah,
And were you aware of who you were up against? Because there was talk of Gwyneth and Claire Danes, etc.
I wasn't really aware, but it was a little bit naughty, actually. I do remember this, and it was such a lesson, my God. So this other actor that I did read with, whose name I'm afraid I really can't remember.
Maybe, I'm going to throw one out, we can always cut it. Jeremy Sisto, was he also? Because I heard he was one of the ones that was
It might have
close.
been him.
Okay.
It might have been him.
Okay.
But I can't recall,
No
to
worries.
be honest. So it is a really long time ago.
Yeah.
But I remember whoever it was, very much wanted to let me know that he had been there doing this auditioning thing the whole of the day before, and absolutely threw out a couple of names of people who he had been auditioning with.
Like a psychological thing? Was he
In
trying?
camera, that he was completely trying to fuck me up. And I just went, I was like, yeah, And I don't know, I just took from that, wow, I'll never do that to
the
another
head
actor.
games. Why?
I will never, ever do that to another actor. What is the point? But I also thought, you're not going to get this part. I could just tell. He was just way too pleased with himself.
Yeah.
And Jim Cameron, I could sense, was not a person who was going to be very tolerant of any young actor who had any degree of arrogance.
Right.
I could tell that about Jim. He's a really sincere person. And he was looking for actors who weren't vain, weren't going to do mind games, and who were going to be absolutely in it and immersed, literally,